All right, hello again. Daily message. What is gonna come through? What is the message for the viewer for their highest good? What do they need to know here and now? Only take what resonates. Don't make it fit. I promise you, if the message makes you anxious, makes you upset, it's not your message. Your message will always resonate. You'll know, it will feel peaceful, and you'll just have that knowing that it's for you. It will never make you anxious. If it's anxious feeling, I promise you that's not for you. So don't make it fit if it doesn't fit. All right. Card number 2. There it is. Ooh, 3 of Wands. Looking forward. Seeing your ships coming in. We'll flip that one over in a second. Looking forward, looking on a good, greater things. Good, greater, better things. Bigger, better things. The 3 of Wands usually has ships on the traditional card, so typically that means like, oh, you see some ships coming in, you see some of the efforts you've been putting in. You're starting to see like a manifestations take place, so something there. One more, please. One more. Whoa, okay, we're taking the one that flipped over. I think you're going to be faced with a choice. Here's 2 of Pentacles. And, 4 of Pentacles. Look at that, 4, 3, 2. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's some progression here in your life. There's something going on. Something is climbing, something's progressing, something's moving forward. It was picking up that feeling of progression here. All right. Just getting a read on this. I do feel like you're going to have to make a choice. You might be juggling something. Four of Pentacles is Pentacles, it's like you might be holding on tightly to your money. You might be holding back. You might be sitting, waiting, or kind of waiting for something to happen. Kind of like, I think, I don't remember if it's traditional tarot, but yeah, I think they're like sitting on, I think it's sitting on a chest or something. And I always, whenever I saw that card, I always thought like, oh, you're just sitting pretty. But you're holding on to what you've been able to build, what you've been able to accomplish, what you've been able to grow in a material sense. I feel like you're holding back from something coming in, from something that's going to be coming into your life where you're going to have to make a decision. Or you might be juggling. So you might be right now at a place in your life where you have to make a decision and you're really juggling your options. You're really trying to assess, what should I do? Also could be that you're holding back from making a decision. Like you see that something is happening, but you're kind of resisting having to make that decision. And it's creating this like constant back and forth. I do get a sense of a little bit of analysis paralysis. With the numbers, wow, my voice is like, someone might be getting choked up. Maybe you're having a hard time talking about this, whatever this is. Maybe you're resistant to talking about it. I almost kind of feel like there's a secret here. I'm almost getting the sense that you're keeping something really close to your chest. right? She's keeping this bag really close to her chest. She's like not wanting to share something. Her eyes are closed. She's not wanting to see something that's not wanting to be acknowledged, or she's not wanting to share something. And I don't think it's like a greedy sense. I'm not getting that. I get that if this is either you or another person, someone else could be holding back in a relationship, in a dynamic. They see where this is going and they're really contemplating what to do or how they want to see this move forward, and so they're really holding back. They're really keeping something close to their chest. The Four of Pentacles is typically about money, but I am getting a sense that there is more like something someone's not wanting to share just because they're not ready to share it now. If this is you, I feel like there is something here that you see, because we see 2, 3, 4. I see that in a progressive sense. I see that as something's happened or occurred and you're able to move forward. Because with the 3 of Wands, that's typically that you see the ships coming in. Like the 2 of Wands was you made the decision, you made a choice, you've taken action, and the 3 is like, okay, I'm seeing the manifestation of my actions. I'm seeing the ships coming in. I'm seeing what I'm doing is resulting in this thing, and it's more of like action-oriented changes that are taking place. So I feel like this is something that there is progression here. There's something that's moving you forward or allowing you to move forward, but you're being a little I don't want to say resistive, but you're holding back from making a decision right now. I think you're at the point where you have to make a decision about something, but you're really holding back. And like I said earlier, I feel like you're keeping this a secret. Like I feel like something is happening or taking place, or something's come up. You've been presented with an opportunity, but now you're at a crossroads and you're having to make this decision. You're juggling your options. You're juggling what to do. Because like I said, analysis paralysis, you might be really assessing the pros and cons about something that you're being presented with. And I don't think it's like a secret, like you're being shady or sketchy. I think you're really just trying to keep this close to your chest and make the decision for you without having way too much influence from other people. Because no matter what, there are a lot of people who know, like there are some people who are more removed from your life but really believe in you, will tell you honestly what they really believe is the best for you. And a lot of times, I'd almost say most of the time I'd say that's probably accurate. But people, and not always the case, but a lot of times people who are closer to you, who love you, your family, your friends, they think they know what's best for you. And I mean, there's a lot of times that that's the case. And sometimes people close to you, like family or friends, will tell you what they think is best for you. And that might also be because they want something. Maybe they don't want to lose you. Maybe there's a change that might take you away from people. Maybe a change might disconnect you from people. So people will want you to do something sometimes because it means they get to keep you in their life. That's not like terrible, but you know, you really have to think about what it is that you want and where you're going to go, what's going to help you grow. And it's sometimes I feel like if it's someone who's living your dream, someone who's not so close to you, but someone who's doing what you want to do, someone who's been there, someone who's lived experiences and can speak to those things, but they're not like, you know, super close to you, but they're very like influential in your life. They know what they've had to go through and the decisions they've had to make to know what's best for them. Like, or to know and to be able to say like, yeah, I would do this over again, or I would do this differently because I know what I would have wanted. So I would have made that decision. I feel like people like that would tell you, go do this thing because you're going to get what you want out of it, even if it doesn't look like what you wanted. So I feel like right now you're kind of holding back from sharing something that's happened in your life, or is happening in your life, because you're not wanting to take so much influence from outside sources. That doesn't mean that you don't care about these people's opinions or what they think, but I think that this could be something that's really good, really exciting, but it could be that like people might tell you don't do that because you're not going to have XYZ, or you're going to lose this, or you need to have this and that doesn't come with it. I don't know what this is. But I feel like this is more or less, this is a progressive decision, and the one that you make, the decision you make, or the thing that you decide to move towards is going to move you forward no matter what. But I think that you're just keeping this really close to your chest. It could also be that this was something that came up and people are going to tell you, no, don't do it. But that there is something here that this wouldn't have come in for you. It's like what you want, the experience that you want to have. And it's like, that people would tell you to not take it. Not because it's not good or because it won't give you what you were asking for, but because people probably don't believe that it's like fruitful enough, or it's what they think that you want. That's why I feel like it's more of a secret, because maybe it's like people don't expect you to want something like this or to go down this path. Like, almost like I'm getting the sense like someone's telling somebody, I never thought you wanted that, or I never thought you'd do that. Like, how can you even do that? Like, how are you even interested in that? Not that it's a bad thing. It's just, I'm really confused that you're really wanting to do this because you've never shown interest before, but you've never said, this is something I really like, or this is something I really want to try, or this is something I really want to experience, and you haven't told anybody about it, but you wanted it. And so here's this opportunity or something to try, and it might mean a lot of change, and people are going to tell you don't do it for whatever reason, and you know that. And so you're keeping it really close to your chest. That's what I'm getting. And I don't think that anybody would tell you like from a place that would be like really negative, negative Nancy. I don't think so. I think it's more or less people just think that they know what's best for you, but I think it's more of like a plot twist. Like, plot twist, I always said I was this, and guess what? I'm doing this now. It's like that. Like, maybe you, I don't know, maybe you sold toys all your life. I don't know. And all of a sudden you're like, I want to go be an actor. And then boom, you have this amazing opportunity to go down that path. And people are like, what? You want to do that? You've never shown interest in that, or something. But people haven't really known you or really cared to get to know you, or maybe this was always something that, like, a side of you that you just never told anybody about or expressed interest in, and you were afraid of what people would think. And it's the typical, like, expected, the typical thing you'd expect from anybody, right? Like, unless you're doing it every day and living and breathing it, like, there's no proof in you being able to succeed. That doesn't make sense. So why do that? Why are you interested in that? So that's the kind of thing. I don't think that anybody would be like, that's a terrible idea, but I think a lot of people have their own opinions about what people should do and not, because the world is crazy. The world has a lot of uncertainty right now. And so whatever this is, it might feel like it's not your certain path or it's certain in anything, but you're like, damn, I am really at a crossroads here to do something that I've always wanted to try, and it means it's progressive, so it's a good thing. It's going to move you forward. Oh, I'm not like that. Moving 2, 3, 4. It's progressive, But, I don't know. I get this feeling like you're just wanting to keep this a secret. You might not even tell anybody and just do it. And you change your life around and people don't know where you're at and people don't know what you're doing. And then finally you're like, oh, I'm doing this thing and I live here now, or I'm, and I go by this name. It's something totally different. And you throw everyone off. But I do feel like the perception here around whatever this thing is being something of certainty. And when I say certainty, I mean something that's like always going to provide. It's always going to sustain you consistently. It may not be something like that. This could also just be something that you do on the side. It doesn't have to replace like a day job. It doesn't have to replace what you do for work or how you sustain your life. It could be something additional, but I do get the sense that this is a big undertaking. Not because these, numbers or anything, I just feel like the underlining thing here is that it's a big decision because you are really contemplating this a lot. You're keeping it really close to your chest, which means it's a big deal. Whatever it is, you're not wanting to share it with the world. So it means something to you because you don't want it to be shut down. Because it sucks when people just tell you not to do something, and not because they don't believe in you, but because they don't believe in this. And maybe ultimately that means they don't believe that you're capable. But I think that maybe there's a lot of pros and cons being weighed here because of the feeling I was getting about this not being a certain thing. Like whatever this is, it's like it may not produce, like if it's a job, it may not produce consistent income every single day or every single week or whatever, but it will be enough. It will be plenty to sustain you, but it's not going to be the same thing you know or have had in the past. It could just be something very different. So this might be something that is just you just keeping it to yourself, and maybe you're just going to make a decision. I think that you're in the waiting on you to make the decision phase. You're contemplating something right now, or you're about to come into something that's going to make you question and contemplate. But I do feel like you're going to take it. I do feel like you're going to go after it. I think that you're just keeping whatever this is really close to you and not really sharing with anybody else what you're doing. But I do think that it's going to be enough of what you need to pursue this and experience it in its fullest without it becoming a burden, right? It becomes cumbersome or a burden on you because easiest example I can think of, you quit your day job and you pursue something creative, and you know that it's not going to be consistent income, but it's going to be what you need to keep going. It's not going to be that kind of pursuit that leaves you high and dry and leaves you in so much debt or whatever. I think it's going to be enough of what you want, but it won't be this beautiful, comfortable luxury experience that you've always known. It will be something that will change your lifestyle around a little bit, but it's not going to be something that's it's always scary to change your lifestyle, or what you know and how you know to expect every single day, kind of. But I do feel like you're going to go after it because I do feel like it's not going to leave you or put you in a position of burden, financial burden. I don't think so. I think that or in your heart, in your gut, that this won't do that to you. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I'm not getting a sense of really what it is. It could be anything. I do feel like it's going to require you to really put a lot of energy and time into learning something. Supplemental came up. Yeah, I don't know. It feels so hidden. I'm not really picking up a lot because it feels so hidden. I feel like you're really keeping it a secret, and I can't even really read it. I just know that it's like it's a secret close to your chest, and it means a lot to you. It's really important to you, and you don't want anyone to diminish your dreams or your goals or aspirations because those are yours and those are beautiful and sacred and they mean something and they're important. But I do feel like it's going to require a lot of learning and additional study or supplemental study or something that requires you to learn and apply yourself. But I think it's going to be easy for you to do so. Like whatever this is, it's something you really enjoy, so it's going to come to you naturally, or it's going to come to you easily. You're going to be able to consume the knowledge easily or learn the material, whatever this is. It's kind of new, and it like you're going to be, I don't know, it's going to be easier for you to like progress. That's why, like I said, it's this progression 2, 3, 4. It's moving forward, it's moving up, it's climbing that ladder, it's whatever it is, but you're progressing. It's good. But I feel like whatever it is that you're having to do, it's going to be easy for you to learn, to consume the knowledge, to apply the knowledge, and to see your growth, your potential, and your improvements or your gain or whatever that is. It's going to be easy. I do feel like it's going to be very emotionally rewarding for you because it's something that comes naturally to you. And that's why it's like you're keeping this such a secret, because this means emotionally, this means so much to you. This is really important. And it makes you happy, or it brings you a lot of joy, but it's not something you've ever been able to like experience in a big scale or a grand scale. It's just been something you've always kind of kept close and quiet, and you don't share with the world, or you don't share with your friends or even your family. Maybe it's like something you just kind of keep really on the down low, but you know that this really means so much to you, and your heart just feels so uplifted when you like entertain the idea, or you, whatever this is. Maybe it's something you've explored like on your own a little bit, you've done research on, you've tried it out a little bit, and it fills your cup up, and it's very fulfilling. I think that's why it's so, there's so much like innocence to this thing that you keep so close. Like it's just like, this is my dream. It always has been my dream. It's like a closet dream. And God forbid I share this with people, even people I love and who are close to me, and they shame me, or they tell me don't do that, or they tell me that's silly, but do it for fun because it will never make you money, or don't pursue that because it's a waste of time, or whatever. Like, how much this means to you because of how much joy or fulfillment or happiness that it brings into your life when you research it, when you practice it, when you've tried it on your own, when you've experienced it in a smaller scale or capacity, like maybe just for fun instead of professionally. Like, I don't know what this is, but like, you already know how it makes you feel, and you don't want that to be diminished by anyone else's opinion, so you're just keeping it really close to you. And it feels like it's a dream you've had since you were really little. There's a lot of innocence here because it comes from something when you were a child. And I think that it's always been that, like, keep it a secret. Don't tell anybody about it because people will think you're just, it's unrealistic, or it's not likely, or whatever, right? So fuck them. Anyway, pursue that thing. I think that you're going to make the decision to do this thing, whatever it is. But this must just be a confirmation for you that if you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm like teetering on like whether to do it or not. Number one, fuck what people think. Don't give your power away by allowing, the thoughts, the ideas of what other people will think, because everyone's going to have an opinion of you and what you do in your life. And it doesn't matter what someone thinks, because it's really none of your business anyways. And So take your power back and say, I'm going to do what I do for me because it feels good for me and that feels right. And that brings me happiness. So I do think that this is more of a confirmation that when you are in this position, if you're already in this place of having to make a decision about something, or you know you're going to have to make a decision soon, or something comes up later that, you know, puts you in this position, know that if you're leaning towards what feels good and what feels right, and that might be this thing, know that you're not making the wrong decision. You are absolutely doing everything right by following your heart and wanting what's best for you, because your joy and your happiness is worth everything that you can do to achieve that. I also think, long ass reading again, I also think that if this is something, like this could be something you do supplemental to what you already do to sustain in your life. But I also was picking up that maybe you want to completely do something different and you're willing to take that risk. That's why you're really in this like juggling state. Like I see it, I see the potential, I see where it can go, I know what I'm capable of, I know what it can bring for me, and it just feels right, it feels expansive, I feel good when I think about it, I feel like I can progress, I feel like I can move forward, I feel like I can tap into my joy, my passion, my excitement, it's gonna fuel me. Like everything positive that you've ever wanted, maybe it's, you know that it's going to be that, but it means people are going to say something about it because you're giving something else up that brought certainty, but also probably misery, you know, or maybe you're just like, I'm ready to try something new in life. So I think that you're probably going to continue to keep this on the down low. You might open up to like one or two people who you know will support you in your decision. But I do think that you're going to keep this a big secret and you're not going to share it with a lot of people, and you're going to just move through life and you know that you're going to be supported every step of the way, because 2, 3, 4, that's nothing but moving forward and progressing in life. And to just add to this, I think that we have the 2 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and then the 3 of Swords. I do feel like there's a lot more passion here. There's a lot more excitement, something fun. But I also think that with the 2 and the 4 of Pentacles, also that adds up to a 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles is about generosity, equal give and take, gifting, generosity. So I think that you know that there will be something worthwhile on the other end of this, even if other people be like, oh, that's not going to make money. Oh, don't do that thing. Oh, don't even invest your time. Like, that's a waste of time, whatever. You know that it's going to provide what you need to keep going. It's going to provide what you need every step of the way. It's going to be enough. It could be more than enough, especially being the 6, being this adds up to the 6, be way more than enough to keep doing it. You know that you're going to have what you need, and you'll be supported, and you'll be sustained. And I think that you know that regardless if anyone else knows that. So there's a level of certainty, in your heart, and you're probably aware of, but it may not look like what you are familiar with or what you know in your life now, if you're still in something else now. But there's like a big secret here you're keeping this close to your chest, but the underlining, like I just kind of like looked like peek under the covers, and it's like there's all this like beautiful, like not to draw weird images, but like it's like you peek under the covers and you see the truth of like, oh, that's a terrible example. How do I say this like in a way that isn't weird? It's like you peek behind the curtain. There we go. It's like you peek behind the curtain, and it's like you're on stage and you see, all the acting and everything on the front end, and you see all the pretty things that we show the world. And then you peek behind the curtain and you see all the lights and all the production, and you see all the things that keep this like thing happening, this Like, this performance wouldn't happen without all of this stuff happening behind it. So you know that even though it looks like this on the top, you know underneath, behind the curtain, there is support there. You will be supported. And it will show up in the most unexpected ways, and it will show up in the predictable ways, and it will show up in the unpredictable ways. So anyway, long ass reading. I'm done. No more. But I think that this is beautiful. It's confirmation for you that this is going to be a beautiful opportunity. You might feel like you're in a stalled energy when you're going to be really thinking about this, but you're not going to make the wrong decision. And this is just confirming for you that, you know, you're going to experience this, you'll go through it, but you're going to come out on top, making the right decision for you that's going to bring you joy and happiness, fulfillment. And this could be something that completely changes what you do with your life. And that's beautiful. Always amazing to take that bet on yourself, because it's scary when you've only known how far you've been able to go, and your potential is limitless. And sometimes just not, I'm sorry if you hear that squeak, that's my little daughter. That's my little kitty. But anyway, your potential is limitless. You have so much capability in what you can do in this world. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. That's enough. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and thank you for watching.